What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV. In this video, we're going to talk about if you should upgrade to the Galaxy Z Fold 4/Flip 4 because I put a question on my community page asking you guys if you wanted to upgrade to it and if you had questions that remained in terms of if you should upgrade. Now, a lot of you guys kind of just put statements. You didn't really ask me questions. Some asked questions, but a lot of people just put like statements like, if this happens, then that. And I'll go through some of those because I think we probably don't have a ton of questions that came from all this. So I'll take questions and I'll take some statements and we'll talk about all of that. And hopefully I can give you a better informed decision on if you should upgrade to the Flip or Fold 4. Also, just to add on to this, before we get into our first question, I do want to let you know this will probably be a multi-part video because I did get a lot of statements / questions and I kind of want to go through as many as I can. First question comes from Christopher saying, I want to see if the outer display is larger as well as seeing a decrease in the ever so evident crease. Otherwise, I'm just going to switch to the S22 Ultra. Now, I think with both of those, with the display on the outside, this one, and then also the crease on the inside the phone here, I think they're gonna be improved, but I don't think they're gonna be so improved where you're gonna be wowed away. I really think you're gonna be in the boat of saying, you know what, it's a pretty good change. It doesn't wow me. It does make me pretty happy, but it doesn't wow me. And I think if the crease bothers anybody that much, I don't know, I think there's more things to worry about with a folding phone than the crease. The outer display, I totally understand that because to me it's almost unusable for me personally, and I almost never use it. And I think at that point, even if it's just, I mean, I really want it to be almost like a regular phone. I don't think it's gonna be like that, but I think it will feel improved. FMC Repair is saying, depends on what it brings to the table and what Samsung offers as a trade-in. Now, I think trade-in offers for Samsung, unless they drastically change something, I don't see anything like that changing in terms of like, are we gonna get way worse trade-in values or way better trade-in values? I think they're gonna be fairly the same. I think if you're coming from a top-tier phone that they've just recently released in the last year or less, you're probably gonna see $800 to $900 unless it's a mid-range phone or something like that. But yeah, if you're getting one of their flagship phones, like for instance the Z Fold 3, you should be getting $900 for trade-in, and then if the phone comes in at $1,600, $1,700, $1,800, you're looking at that minus that and then tax, and you're probably at about $1,000, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. So I think at that point, that's what you can expect for the trade-in. And then with what it brings to the table, we've heard what the Z Fold 4 should bring to the table, and that's, this is just some of the things. Better camera, S Pen support, just like the Fold 3, a better design in terms of reliability with the design, fatter displays on the inside and the outside displays, and then whatever else they bring to the table as well. I think it's probably some things I'm forgetting right now because it's all off the cuff. But there's definitely enough meat on that bone that you should be pretty much excited and really want it. The cameras alone are a huge thing for me. I love these types of questions. This one's from Starfish. Been wanting a Fold since Gen 1, but due to the S10 Plus still holding up for years. I've waited now. I'm locked on to the Fold, but the price is so high, I'm unsure, but probably will. Have saved up as a poor student. Love your Z Fold updates. Keep it up. Z Fold 4, I feel like without a doubt is the one to upgrade. If you haven't had any of the folding phones from Samsung as of yet, Fold 4 is the one to get. Now, every phone every year should be the one to get, so you could come with that argument. I know you probably will, but Fold 4 is just, it's not perfect in terms of what we know, like the specs and things like that, but it's definitely the class of phone that you would want in a folding phone with really good cameras, a brighter display, a fatter display on the outside and inside displays, better performance. We always get better performance, but the newest processor with better efficiency, battery life that hopefully will be improved because of that processor, up to 1 terabyte of storage on here. So there's some things on there that are gonna make you excited, and I really think this should be the year you do it, and I hope you end up loving it. I love my folding phones. Jen is saying, I wanna upgrade my Fold 3 to the Fold 4, but I'm not sure if I should wait a few months in case of technical bugs, or if I jump right in on August. Don't worry about the bugs. I've had all the folding phones and basically all the Samsung phones, all the flagship ones they've released for the last years, I personally can't think of anything too pressing that was like, oh, I really, really hate this one. I mean, there was, you know, I think it was the S20 Ultra had issues with autofocusing, with some close-up photos. That bugged me. But other than that, I mean, you should be fine. And the part of that is of waiting for technical difficulties to be worked out. There's always going to be something. Even if they fix one thing, it usually breaks something else. And that's just not for Samsung. That's Apple. That's Xiaomi. That's any company that fixes something usually always breaks something else, or something else needs to be fixed. So don't do that to yourself. Jump in right at the bat. Grab it. Don't feel like you're left out and missing out on some really, really cool stuff, because I think the Fold 4, you know, there's going to be haters, there's going to be people that love it, but ultimately I think it's going to be a really, really fun phone. Tony Holland saying, definitely upgrading from the Note 20 Ultra to the Fold 4, hoping I can trade in my Watch 4 Classic too if I decide to get Watch 5. I don't know yet about the Watch 5. Too many mixed assumptions so far. I think, and I want to talk about this one where you're saying Note 20 Ultra to the Fold 4. You know what? You're going to miss out on some of the Bluetooth features with the Fold 4 S Pen most likely. From what we've heard, it's probably not going to have Bluetooth functionality in there like the Note 20 Ultra does. But if you're not using that, just the overall functionality of using an S Pen, especially on a much bigger display like the Fold 4 will be, it's going to be just as good, if not better, experience with writing and doing those kind of daily tasks that you would do on there. So I think you going from that phone to the Fold 4 is actually, I think it would be pretty smooth, and I think you'd be pretty happy at the end of the day. JRB says probably get both, but I really, really want the best cameras, at least S22 Ultras on the Fold 4. I doubt the Flip 4 will have excellent cameras. I think you're probably right on that. I think the Fold 4 will probably walk away with, in terms of folding phones from Samsung, will walk away with the best cameras. And then you're looking at the Flip 4 probably having very similar cameras to the Flip 3 before it. But, you know, they're still going to be pretty good, but not probably, you know, world class, or, you know, their top 5 cameras that they have on any phone. But at the same time, the Flip 4 will probably also come in at a price that's very, very aggressive. And I mean that in a good way. Even Thatcher says the phone itself looks cool, but just concerned about cost. Could I trade in my current phone and get a discount? So yeah, just like any phone that Samsung releases, you can generally trade in almost any top tier phone for it. You know, you can go trade if you have a Google phone or an iPhone or a Samsung phone, you can trade that in and get some money off on their phone. They usually give very competitive trade-ins, especially if it's a Samsung phone. They'll give you a lot of the time than you can make on the open market. So it makes it very competitive and very easy, and you can just send that off to Samsung, and you immediately get the cost off of the phone. So if the phone was $2,000, let's just say, and you got $1,000 off, you only have to pay $1,000, and you don't have to pay the other $1,000 unless your phone comes back as, you know, bad or just not up to trade-in value. That's when they would charge you the other $1,000 weeks later or whatever, when you send them that phone. So you do have some time to get all that situated. But yeah, you can definitely trade in, get a decent discount on the phone, and so I wouldn't worry about that. So this is where we're going to end part 1, guys. I will do a part 2, and the part 2 might end up turning into a part 3. I haven't gone through every single question on here per se, so we'll see what else arises from this, but we would definitely have a part 2, and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you down the road. Peace!